Vacancy and abandonment, it's a complex issue, and it happens for so many different factors. Metro might have a great year and move several properties, and then more pop up. The properties that are out there are abandoned, meaning, yes, they're vacant, but also an owner, they're not responding to code enforcement who's saying, hey, clean up your property. Vacant and Public Property Administration work directly with code enforcement. We use their data, and that's how we figure out where we have other Metro projects and Metro funding, and we start looking at the abandoned properties there and how we can move them forward. We hear a lot of firsthand stories of people being afraid. You don't know exactly what's going on next door. You might hear noises. Maybe it's animals that have gotten in. Maybe it's people who have gotten in. There are a lot of issues with living in areas, especially with high concentrations of vacant and abandoned properties. Solutions come from understanding the problem. I think that sometimes there's a lot of wheel spinning, trying to fix a problem that isn't the right problem. I think the biggest myth that exists, we hear it a lot in community meetings, we get a lot of phone calls about it, is that the city owns every boarded up house in town. That is absolutely not true. We own around 500 to 600, and there are somewhere around 5,000 properties. These properties are owned by somebody. We need to figure out who the owner is. Another common misconception is that we sell houses for $1 only. And we certainly do have houses to sell for $1, but people need to remember that these are demolition candidates. So these are houses that someone in code enforcement has looked at and said, this thing probably just needs to come down because it's going to take more money to rehab than it's worth. We do have people who want to save it. So yes, we will sell it to you for the cheap price of $1, but we need to see that you have the money that you're going to use to fix it up. Another common misconception has to do with city-initiated foreclosures. The city is actively foreclosing on properties with an intention to own them all. Believe me, we do not want to own any more properties than we already do. Our goal with foreclosure is to take an abandoned property and put it into the hands of somebody who's going to do something productive with it.
We're at sale number 21.
In a foreclosure suit, the house goes to the commissioner's sale, and it is run by the courts. It goes to the highest bidder. The goal of all of our division is to return vacant properties back into productive use. Something else that people aren't aware of is that the land bank actually accepts property donations. Most of the people who donate property to us are looking for a way to get out from under the liens and the taxes that have added up on a property. It's a way for them to transfer it over to the land bank, see it go back into productive use, and to be able to move on. There's a fairly simple application to fill out. The one thing I would like people to understand is that you can also be part of the solution. I love the success stories. We have so many pictures of houses that just looked so bad and so neglected, and the after picture is just, it's one of the happiest times that we have at our office. Those success stories, they keep us going, and it's certainly one of the highlights of our work here. This is not something that government can do by itself. We need partners and private investors, we need nonprofits, we need individuals. This is a team effort.
For more information, be sure to visit louisvilleky.gov/vacant.